All right, so you know how much we all love to just dive deep into things and really get to the core of how to do stuff better, right?
Absolutely.
So today we're gonna tackle something that's really fundamental, I think, for anyone who's into creative writing, and that's the good old-fashioned journal notebook.
Yeah, the classic, the essential.
Exactly. And we've been looking at some really interesting stuff about this. Specifically how a well-designed journal can actually like make a difference, like one of those Listallian ones.
Right.
So what we want to do today is really dig into why having a dedicated notebook for your writing is not just like a nice thing to have, it's like actually a game changer. It can be
Oh, yeah.
for getting those ideas down, keeping them safe, and really like refining your craft.
Yeah, and, it's so important these days because we are so, like, digitally focused,
Totally.
And there's something really powerful about having that physical space, right?
Yeah.
To put your thoughts down, especially with something like creative writing where it's so personal, it's so nuanced.
It's like you're creating a sanctuary for your ideas.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
think about it. How many times have you had, like, this amazing line for a poem or this brilliant plot twist or, like, a really vivid description of a character,
Oh, all the time.
and then you don't write it down and it just vanishes?
Oof, gone.
Gone. And it's so frustrating.
The worst.
So a dedicated journal, it's right there. It's ready. It's that anchor.
It's like your safety net.
Yes. And not just any notebook.
Yeah.
Right? The quality of the paper.
Oh, yeah. That matters.
The durability. You want to know that those ideas are going to be there for you to revisit later.
Like a time capsule almost.
Exactly. And that all feeds into a better creative experience.
You just reminded me of a friend of mine. He's a playwright.
Okay.
And he's like overflowing with ideas, constantly like brilliant scenes and dialogue just popping into his head.
I know the type.
Right. And he used to scribble them down anywhere, like napkins, receipts.
Oh.
I know. And of course, he'd lose half of them.
Of course.
It was a disaster. But then he finally got himself a dedicated notebook.
Good for him.
Something really nice,
Yeah.
And it was like a turning point.
Really?
Yeah, he started actually developing those little sparks into full scenes and then, plays.
I love that.
It's amazing. And the thing about durability, too,
Yeah.
it's like you want a notebook that feels like it can handle your creative energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can toss it in your bag, take it everywhere, fill it up, and it's still going to be there years later.
It becomes part of your journey as a writer.
Absolutely. A record of all those ideas and struggles and triumphs.
Speaking of struggles,
Yeah.
what's inevitable for every writer at some point?
Oh, you mean writer's block?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where the journal becomes more than just a place to store ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a tool.
Okay. How so?
It can actually help you break through those blocks.
Really?
Yeah, there are specific techniques you can use, like free writing.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that?
I think I've dabbled in it.
So you just let your thoughts flow onto the page. No editing, no judgment, just pure stream of consciousness.
Sounds kind of scary, but also freeing.
It is. It can be really liberating. And then there are prompts you can use.
Prompts.
Yeah, like little starting points to get your imagination going.
Like what kind of prompts?
Well, we saw some examples like describe a moment that changed your life or create a dialogue between two unlikely characters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and these are just random exercises. They're designed to kind of push your thinking in new directions.
To make those unexpected connections.
Exactly.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy who never gets tired.
That's a great way to put it. And someone who never criticizes you.
That's key, especially when you're just starting out with an idea.
Right.
It can feel so fragile. You need that safe space to experiment without feeling judged.
Absolutely. And the more you write, even when you don't feel inspired, the stronger you become as a writer.
It's like working out a muscle. The more you use it, the more resilient it gets. It makes me think about those Listallian journals. They have that really thick paper, right? The 120 GSM.
Oh, yeah.
So you can write with like any pen you want.
Mm-hmm.
And no bleeding through, which is a huge plus for me.
Yeah, and they have those dashed lines too.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Like the perfect balance of structure without feeling too restrictive.
You can just let your thoughts flow.
Mm-hmm. And even sketch or outline plot points.
It's so versatile.
It really is.
And, when you're choosing a journal for creative writing, these little details really do matter.
They make a big difference.
The quality of the paper, like we said, it affects how it feels to write.
Absolutely.
And you can use different fountain pens, without worrying about the ink going everywhere.
And it helps preserve your work in the long run.
Right, because this is your legacy we're talking about.
Exactly. And a strong binding is super important too.
Oh, yeah. You don't want it falling apart after a few weeks.
And a nice cover, like a soft faux leather one.
Oh, so
It's not just about looks, though. It makes it more comfortable to hold.
it feels special.
And that can actually make you more likely to want to write.
It's psychological, you know.
It is. It can really enhance the whole experience.
And what about organizational features?
Oh, yeah. Those are essential for some people.
Like a table of contents.
Yes, especially if you're working on a longer project like a novel or a screenplay.
Or if you have multiple projects going at once.
You can quickly find what you're looking for without having to flip through 100 pages.
Saves so much time and frustration.
And a back pocket for those loose scraps of paper.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know how many ideas end up on random bits of paper?
And then they disappear forever.
Exactly. But with a dedicated pocket, you can keep everything together.
Inspiration clippings, research notes, all in one place.
It's so convenient, and, it's these kinds of features that make journals like the Listallians stand out.
Yeah, they're really designed with writers in mind.
Like even the number of pages. Some of them have 211 numbered pages.
That's a lot of space for ideas.
Plenty of room to explore.
It's really impressive when you think about it.
It's all about having the right tools to support the creative process.
Not just any old notebook.
Right. It's about having a tool that's specifically designed to help you write better.
And sometimes it's those little details that make all the difference.
They really can.
You know, it reminds me of my cousin. She was trying to write her first screenplay.
Oh, wow.
And she had all these ideas, but she was struggling to organize them.
That could be overwhelming.
It totally was for her. She felt like she was drowning in her own ideas.
I can relate to that.
So she decided to try using a Listallian journal.
Oh.
And she said the first thing she noticed was how nice the cover felt.
That soft faux leather.
Yeah, it felt less intimidating than the sketchbook she had been using.
Interesting.
And she started just jotting down scenes and character ideas on those dashed lines. And she said the lines helped her keep her writing neat, but without feeling restricted.
It's that perfect balance.
Right, and because the paper was so thick, she could even make notes in the margins.
Without it showing through on the other side.
Exactly, which can be so distracting.
Totally. And then as her screenplay started coming together,
Yeah.
she said the table of contents was a lifesaver.
For keeping track of everything.
Yeah, all the plot lines and character arcs.
And the back pocket became her research hub. All her notes and articles and stuff.
Like having a built-in filing system.
It is. And she actually finished a draft in like 8 months.
That's amazing.
I know. And she credits a lot of that to having that organized, writer-friendly journal.
It helped her stay focused and feel less overwhelmed.
It's such a good example of how the right tools can empower you.
Absolutely. They can make the whole process so much smoother.
And it makes me think about some practical advice for our listeners.
Yeah. How can people actually use a creative writing journal to get the most out of it?
Well, I think having a consistent writing routine is key.
I agree, even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
It makes a huge difference over time.
It's like making a date with your creativity.
I love that. And don't forget about prompts.
Oh, yeah. Those are so useful.
They can help you overcome writer's block, but they can also just be a fun way to spark new ideas.
We mentioned a few earlier, like writing a letter to your future self. Or imagining a world without gravity.
Oh, yeah. Those are good ones.
They really get you thinking outside the box.
And I think it's important to experiment with different writing styles in your journal, too. Don't feel like you have to stick to just prose.
You can write poetry. You can sketch. You can do whatever feels right in the moment.
It's all part of the creative process.
And having a comfortable writing environment is so important, too.
Oh, yeah. Like a cozy corner with good lighting.
Or your favorite music playing.
Maybe a cup of tea.
Those little rituals can really help you get into the writing mindset.
They signal to your brain that it's time to create.
Exactly. And don't forget to go back and reread your old entries.
That's something I need to do more often.
It's so valuable. You can see how your ideas have evolved.
And you might even get inspired by something you wrote months or years ago.
It's like having a conversation with your past self.
My grandmother used to say that she kept journals her whole life.
Oh, wow.
And she would always go back and reread them.
And she would find new ideas.
Yeah, it was like a treasure trove of inspiration.
That's beautiful. And, when you really commit to these practices,
Yeah.
the benefits of journaling for creative writing become so clear.
You start to see the results.
You notice that your thinking is clearer.
Your writing is more focused.
You're more present in the moment.
more connected to your creativity.
And, of course, your creativity flourishes.
Because you have that safe space to explore without judgment.
Exactly. And it can even help you solve problems.
Really?
Yeah, when you're stuck on something in your writing.
Like a plot point or a character motivation.
Sometimes just writing it out in your journal can help you see things from a new perspective.
It can unlock those creative blocks.
And of course, having a well-designed journal like the Listallion can make the whole experience even better.
Yeah, it's all about having the right tools.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to think about all the different types of notebooks out there.
Yeah, there are so many options.
You have moleskins, which are classic and portable.
But the paper can be a little thin.
Yeah, some people don't like that.
And then you have bullet journals, which are super flexible.
But they're more for organization than creative writing.
And then there are those fancy planners like Erin Condren,
Which are beautiful.
but again, not really designed for free-form writing.
So what makes a journal like the Listallion stand out?
What's the attention to detail?
Yeah, they really thought about what writers need.
The thick paper, the comfortable cover.
The table of contents.
Yeah,
The back pocket.
it's all there.
So for someone who's listening to this and thinking, I want to start journaling,
Or maybe they used to journal and they want to get back into it.
what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, choose a high-quality journal that feels good to you.
And based on what we've been talking about,
A Listallion would be a great option.
it really would.
Then set some realistic goals for yourself.
Don't try to do too much at once.
Maybe start with 15 minutes of writing each day.
Or focus on developing one new character idea each week.
The key is to be consistent.
Make it a habit.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Try different prompts, different writing styles.
Just let your creativity flow.
And most importantly, celebrate your progress.
Just look back at how far you've come,
And give yourself credit for all the effort you're putting in.
because you're doing great.
At the end of the day, what we've really learned today is that a dedicated journal,
Yeah,
it's not just a blank book.
it's so much more than that.
It's a tool that can help you unlock your creative potential.
It can help you overcome challenges.
It can help you build a consistent writing practice.
It can change your life.
So I want you to think about this.
Mm-hmm.
What stories are you waiting to tell?
What ideas are you holding back?
Maybe all you need is a journal
In a little bit of time.
to start bringing those stories to life.
To unleash your creativity.
That's something to think about.
It is food for thought.
And until next time, keep exploring those creative depths.
Happy writing.
See you later.